Welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, and I got Crawler with me today. What's up, baby?
Yo, how's it going? Crawler coming at you.
We are doing the Nintendo News Minute together, which is kind of fun and not something that happens often. So excited to jump into all the news. Before we do, I got to give a massive shout out to everybody in the community. We hit 350 subs on TikTok this morning, and that means we're having a Mario Party tournament tomorrow on stream. So the way we're working this is I'm going to put a list together whatever Mario Party you have, you can participate in that game. So if we have enough, hopefully we have enough people that are, maybe just using the expansion pack, some using Super Mario Party and some using Mario Party Superstar. But whatever Mario Party you have, if you want to participate in a tournament, we're going to be hosting that tomorrow. No clue how it's all going to go down and how many people are going to show up, but
there's one, 2, and 3 on NSO, right?
I believe so. Yes, yeah. So we have at least 5 different Mario parties that can be played tomorrow. So if you want to dust off your copy of Mario Party and get involved in the tournament, it's going to be a good time. Other than that, we're going to jump right into the news, and we're going to start off with something kind of big here. The rumor is the Switch successor's code name may have been uncovered. You guys remember that the Nintendo Switch was originally referred to as the NX? Well, there's a potentially a code name now for the Switch. So, jumping into the article on NintendoLife.com, it says, with the recent acknowledgement from Nintendo regarding the existence of the Switch's successor, it feels like the rumor machine has been given a chunky can of spinach is now working overtime. That's a great line. Over on Family Boards, diligent users have been scourging through nuggets of information that might give us a more clear indication of what to expect from Nintendo's upcoming console. And it seems that a few folks have managed to uncover the Switch 2's codename. No, it's not NX2. It's actually Muji. M-U-J-I. Well, it could be Muji. None of this should be taken as absolute fact, right, for the time being. It was supposedly found directly within code for software development kits. What this codename means, however, isn't exactly clear. The Japanese translation is plain. I think that's what it means, plain, which some users have concluded could mean it's merely a placeholder for the time being. Others, however, have looked into the Japanese retailer Muji for a potential link. Muji sells a variety of goods, including clothing, household items, and accessories, all while adopting a no-brand policy. Essentially, then, their clothing in particular could be described as plain, since they don't contain any logos or branding. The company is also staunchly minimalist, placing particular emphasis on recycling and conveniently avoiding the necessary advertisement costs that come with brand recognition. How could this be attributed to Nintendo is anybody's guess, but it does kind of lend credence to the idea that the Switch's successor is merely an evolution of the current Switch family of consoles. They wrote it out. And one that does not stray too far from the core concept and isn't loaded with any unnecessary gimmicks. So, Crawler, I'll let you give your thoughts. What do you think of Muji being the code name, the possible code name for Switch 2?
I like things kind of plain, so I'm not opposed to plain. But I mean, code names are code names. I mean, the only thing that's like they live on after their use. I mean, Dolphin is an emulator now for GameCube because that was the code name. Project Scorpio, whatever, they did a wink and a nod to that in the Project Scorpio Xbox or whatever.
Right.
Otherwise, code names mean nothing. I mean, it's whatever.
For sure. Yeah, it's just one of those things, like, I don't know, it was fun saying NX, right? For the longest time, like just being able to talk about the system with a, with the code name. But they told us what it was, right? If I remember correctly, I think the code name was out there, whereas like this time they're not, like, that would have been a fun little a fun little nugget from them when they announced the successor. Like
Dolphin too, didn't they? I mean,
I,
wasn't
I,
that
bel
at like a E3 or something like that?
I believe so. Yeah, like my memory escapes me a bit on a lot of the code names, but it seems like it's something they have used in the past. So who knows? It I don't know. I don't.
Dolphin actually might have been pre E3. That might have been Consumer Electronics Show or whatever it was
It,
prior.
yeah, it very well could have been. And I'm looking at Muji, and it's just such a funny name. Like it's just
Mhm.
such a like it's very plain, right? So there you go. That give your thoughts, of course, in the comments down below, and let us know what you think about the potential Switch code name Muji. This is kind of an interesting article. It's how Nintendo Switch is being used by a new generation of therapists. So, cooperative healing in handheld hybrid form. So, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and Nintendo Life's going to be doing a couple different features focused on how video games of all types have helped us through periods when we were struggling with our mental health. Today, Tim speaks to therapists to discover what they are using the Switch and video game therapy to help patients. So, taking a quick look at the article here, it says games are really potent therapeutic tools for a whole host of reasons, says Rachel Corwert, PhD, who, alongside her aforementioned research, also serves as the research director at a gaming-focused mental health organization, Take This. Perhaps the most obvious is because they are fun. People want to play them. Play being the operative word. Play is important throughout the lifespan, and in and of itself has been associated with a range of mental health benefits, such as stress relief. Another quote here is play is kids' language. It's how they process things, says Kim Wheeler, a social worker who introduced the Switch to her child therapy practices after searching for play alternatives during COVID-19 lockdowns. Kids are not going to talk. When they get older, yes, they communicate through language and through talking. But most of the time, when kids need to work some things out, they are going to play. And so what I find really interesting about this is something I see all the time. That Wanted game that I play, so many people have talked about it in chat or messaged me like, yo, this game got me through my parents' divorce, or this game, like this was my escape when I was a kid and things were looking rough. And I mean, I know even for me that the reason, if you play any Mario game with me, I'm going to play Mario, is because of that feeling that was like, this is my escape. Right? It's not like I had like the worst childhood, that like a really rough, like I had great parents. They loved me. Like it was fine, but there was still a sense of like things in my reality that I definitely wanted to escape. And Nintendo always allowed that. For me, it was in short 45-minute a day bursts, because that's all my my parents
if you could get up
would.
early in the morning.
Yeah, right. I would tiptoe past the bedroom. So, and it definitely helped. I mean, are you in a similar boat? Like, can you think back of sometimes just games helped you escape?
Yeah, I mean, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance back in the day, like that was kind of your alone time where you weren't in the main, because for us it was like one or two TVs in the house, and it was like if you were playing, you were monopolizing one of the TVs, and it was like, now it's like, I don't know, and how many screens do I have in
Screens
front of me?
everywhere. Yeah.
But like, yeah, Game Boy Advance and Game Boy was like alone time up in your room that you could kind of just escape, and it was those worlds kind of just being what you had. And then stuff's evolved now, and it's I mean, iPad and all sorts of stuff, and for stuff to be talked about in therapy, like I think they've embraced like tablets and other kinds of stuff as tools to kind of break through with certain stuff, but now they're able to kind of see the benefits in other kinds of things. I my degree's in recreation management, so like the whole line that you said with like time to like communicate through play and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
something we definitely discussed in classes that I took.
I mean, every morning, 8 a.m. now, starting this week, and then every day at 3 p.m. for the last like 7 weeks, we've been playing Mario Kart, right? I know that there is a part of all of us that love that element of just being able to play. Like it's escape for all of us. It's a safe place to have conversation, and then we're playing. Like it's just it equals fun. And I know it's such a huge thing. Jenna in the chat here says, my therapist when I was younger had Xbox and PlayStation for me to play, and it really did help, you know. And there's no question in my mind that games, it's an element of play, it's an element of fun, and it's an element of escape when we have things that are difficult to deal with. And I'm actually going to dig into this further, guys. I know you've listened to the one episode of Gaming in the Dark. I'm going to do a handful more since it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and talk about just the way games have helped us get through difficult times. So stay tuned for that. Some more from Nintendo talking physical, right? Nintendo will continue to support physical media and maximize all software sales. This policy will remain unchanged going forward. Nintendo digital software sales, as again, we're on Nintendo Life, have grown remarkably over the years, and the same can be said for all of the big publishers. But in terms of where Big N's focus lies, it's not dedicating itself to a digital-only future. During the financial results briefing for fiscal year 2024, Nintendo's president, Shintaro Furukawa, responded to a question about the growth of digital media and expectations the company have for the successor of Nintendo Switch, which was announced early this week. Furukawa recognizes how the industry has shifted since the release of the Nintendo Switch, and that the expanded scale of our digital business can be cited as one of the major changes for the company. But even with this, Nintendo is adamant that it is not going to be solely focused on digital sales, but physical media too. And here's the quote. It says, "Our objective is to not simply increase the share of digital sales, but to maximize overall game software sales, including sales of physical software. This policy will remain unchanged going forward." And so that right there is very good news. They are not going to be walking away from physical, even though, you know, they've probably even, like, they see
60%,
the
60% digital.
Well, 60% digital, but also there's less overhead every time that digital purchase
and they
is
still
made,
and they still have
right?
the Switch tax on it.
And it's not going through it. Not only is there no overhead in packaging, they're not paying retailers. Right? So it's an overall win, but I think Nintendo understands the power of retail still, even though like the shelves may be shrinking.
Didn't Target say they were going to shrink the electronics section?
I don't know that I've seen that yet, but I mean, we saw it with Best Buy. We know it's coming, right? I mean, Target's electronics a ghost town.
Further past the customer pickup desk at Best Buy anymore. I don't go.
Yeah,
I just order stuff and I go pick it up. That's it. I'm
pretty much in the same boat. It's not nearly as fun to go walk around and browse, because it's like there's never anything new. You know, at least it used to be like, hey, what amiibo might have come in, or you know, something like that.
I go to the Target aisles like I have it. It's just all the way down the line. It's like there's nothing new.
Yeah, the only thing I typically go and look for now is the Mario Kart Hot Wheel, and just trying to see which Mario Kart Hot Wheels I may not have. And last time I scored.
Is there a spreadsheet for that? Like, I need. Okay.
Yeah,
I need to probably go through all my stuff.
There is the hard ones to find are like the 4-packs that you can only get the one part in that 4-pack. I have one or two of those,
I think, with like the Black Yoshi or whatever. And,
yep, yeah. Black Yoshi, and there's a Diddy Kong, and then there's the baby ones are the I think there's like I think it's a baby Luigi and a green pipe cart. So I think I'd have to look again, but
are you doing anything with that channel? What's that channel doing?
So yeah, the Mario Kart Hot Wheels channel is actually this coming Tuesday night. I got tired of having it in my room because I could barely navigate my office with Rainbow Road set up. So I talked to a buddy, and we are going to set up in a church that has no windows, and we're gonna just like do like lighting on the track and then just shoot a whole bunch of races. So
Probably, like, get black lights and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna do it up with some production,
I bet
and
that
then
whole track would glow pretty good
Yeah.
if you blacklit it.
I think it will. So that's actually happening Tuesday night. I'm just gonna get, and that's how I'm gonna do it going forward. Like we're gonna get 2 hours of footage, and then I can edit that over a couple month period, and then do it again, and then
What's
I can
what's
just
the name
keep
of that
it in
channel?
storage. So
Subscribe to it.
youtube.com/at Mario Kart Races. So that's the channel there, and it's, I mean, some of those videos have, it's my most successful YouTube channel as far as views. Like it's crazy, honestly. So taking a look, Servant says we still have stores other than Amazon, right? Like, yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it feels at times, Cryptic says Target usually had the best deals. They always had the buy two get one free sale during the holidays for sure. I used to take advantage of that. What I would end up doing, I was the worst. My parents would be like, "Hey, get each of your boys the new Call of Duty or whatever." I'm like, "Perfect. I'll go buy it at Target, and then I'll take the free game for myself that way." So, and then Cryptic saying Best Buy was good when it had the rewards program. Yeah, and it does still have something like that, but you have to pay
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm in it right now because of some bigger purchases that I made, but no, it doesn't pay out all that well. So. Next up, Nintendo acknowledges that successor announcement may impact Switch sales. Says, we recognize that it is becoming more challenging to maintain momentum. So I'm just going to go directly to the quote here, and it says, even so, during last year's holiday season, many new consumers picked up a Nintendo Switch system for the first time, particularly children and families in markets outside of Japan. We will release new titles this fiscal year, and in addition, did you hear that?
What was it?
Did you hear that? We will release new titles this fiscal year.
Oh, Johnny's screwed.
I mean, potentially
that could be January. So.
Yeah, potentially. And in addition to many people have watched the Super Mario Brothers movie through various means since its theatrical release. So with factors like that, we believe we will be able to continue to generate new demand. Also, there is a large catalog of existing Nintendo Switch games, so if we can effectively convey the appeal of all these evergreen titles.
Existing games. I was like, I just heard existing games. I was like, they're just gonna go pull old stuff.
Yeah. We believe we can pursue the demand for multiple systems in the same household, born from the unique value of the Nintendo Switch. So,
yeah, I have 3 in this house. You have 8. Johnny has 8, probably.
I don't even know. Some of them are just in storage. So, but I mean, we'll release new titles. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a brand new game, but it does. There's a chance. It
could be new to the Switch. It could be. I mean, because in Johnny's world, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess HD doesn't count against him.
Right. So
Metroid Prime 2 and 3 doesn't count against him.
Right. Yeah, and there's still a handful of Wii U titles too, like we talked about last night. The NES remix could get put out there.
They should do a dual pack and then come up with an NES remix 3, like
a SNES remix is what they should do.
Yeah,
like keep it going.
Those are 2 of my purchases before the Wii U eShop went down. Was having those just digitally on my Wii U.
Gotcha.
Just so they're there.
Yeah, they're actually a little harder to find physical. Like, so it's a good thing.
They did that on the 3DS too, right? Didn't they have?
Yeah. And they're fun little games. I remember playing on a flight to like maybe E3 2019 or something on my 3DS. But Cryptic says, I agree. I was on the verge of buying the OLED and now holding off. Like, I mean, and I see that for the. The only other ones I might pick up along the way is if they come out with some of the the OLED models that I haven't picked up yet,
NES Championship Edition OLED.
or yeah, or if they do, if they do some kind of special edition one, I could see, but
That would be how they move units if they show something off in June. That's a new system.
yeah. And I mean, I think the other thing, I think there's a very real possibility. The reason they aren't mentioning the Switch is they may do a price cut potentially, like maybe and maybe they wait for the holiday and just do like a one time like. But I could see it coming. I could see a price cut not only in the hardware but in software, and they bring back Nintendo's Choice or Player's Choice.
Flirting now with what, 8 years now, right?
Yeah.
And they've never cut the price. They've introduced different models. They've increased the price even to $350 with the new model.
Yeah.
Dropped it down to $200 with the Lite, but there's never been a price cut on it. And so if the new system comes out and they finally do a price cut, and if they do a big price cut, if they drop the main Switch down to 200 and the Lite down to like 125 or something like that, they would move a ton of units, and they would definitely crush PlayStation in the lifelong sales.
Yeah, no question. And I think what's interesting too is they are really attributing a lot of their sales to Super Mario Brothers movie. Like,
yeah, and they missed an opportunity
with not putting a game out during that time. I mean, we say that, but look at the sales of Deluxe. That jumped, and I think it still helped Wonder as well. Like,
yeah, and Wonder didn't sell, I think, as probably as well as we thought it was going to after playing it, and then as well as Nintendo, I think, was probably hoping. I think they were hoping that was going to be a 20 million seller, and it's only at like 12.
Which is still just crazy. Like, it's those are, I mean, because it's not even been out. Like, it came out a little bit of a weird time being this late in the system. It doesn't give it the legs to keep. I mean, Mario Kart did 8 in the last year, the last meeting they had, the investors meeting. So like, it's wild to think the kind of numbers they can push. But I think Nintendo learned very quickly that outside of just the profits from the Super Mario Brothers movie alone, the what it's done for the brand is insane. And I think what it's really done is it has grabbed a much younger generation. I mean, how your youngest is how old?
She'll be 6 in September, so 5.5.
Did it pull her in? Like, was she watching it? Like,
there was a weekend that I think she was sick, and she watched it 5 or 6 times that weekend. Like,
yeah, so
kids just watch movies on repeat. So, and she enjoys playing Mario Kart a little bit. She was playing Sonic Colors this morning. I don't think she's very good at that one because it's fast and you got to platform and stuff like that. But yeah, she's enjoying it. I think it's just more osmosis kind of with the big kids being a little bit more into it, and she's there to see it. But yeah, and I don't, and with how much they're attributing the movie for sales, I don't think they're gonna miss with the next movie is supposed to come out in, is it 26 or 25?
26.
There will definitely be a game ready to go. Whether it's Donkey Kong, whether it's featuring Donkey Kong, or if we get a 3D Mario next year, or whenever the Switch 2 launches, maybe we get another side-scrolly Mario game or something like that. Something they won't miss with something from the Mushroom Kingdom.
No, they won't. They won't at all. And the remainder of the quote here, it says, "We do not think the announcement of the successor to the Nintendo Switch and future related communities will have zero impact on the Nintendo Switch sales. However, we hope to maximize sales this fiscal year by maintaining a good balance between new demand and demand for multiple systems. Our hardware sales forecast of 13.5 million units for the fiscal year will not be easily achieved, but with the intention of challenging ourselves, we have set this number as the initial fiscal year guidance." That would put them at what? 153 million?
Knocking on the door of the 160 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what PlayStation 2's at?
Yeah, they're gonna get scrappy now.
They're gonna get
There's no way they don't get scrappy now. It's even a $50 price drop. If either that or start packing in the games, like buy a Mario bundle and get Mario Kart Wonder and something like that.
and
There's
this machine doesn't even play DVDs like PlayStation 2 did.
right.
It only has Hulu and YouTube. That's it.
Yeah, no joke. So, going forward here, let's see. I want to make sure I get these kind of in order. We got Nintendo is aware of a pesky bug in Endless Ocean Luminous, and it says a patch is coming by the end of the month. So this tweet is from Oatmeal Dome. It says Nintendo has confirmed that a bug can make it impossible to unlock 55 on the mystery board. An update will be released May 31st to fix the bug. The game is your game is in a glitch state if 55 is not unlocked, and you may have obtained Cateusis or something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe
It sounds like they need to rework the whole mystery board in general, because the mystery board is 99 things you have to find. It's randomly generated per dive. Like, it's a chance, I think, for an item in the mystery board to even be in a dive, and the RNG can spit out something that you already have. It's just what they need to do is they just need to reduce the loot table as you unlock stuff, and make it a guaranteed thing every dive, and you just maybe have to explore and go find it. But because 99 dives would be enough. Like, that's a lot. And
that's a lot. Yeah.
They need to kind of retool that a little bit.
Among Us reveals their 2024 roadmap and teases new surprises and much more. So here's a tweet from them. It said, it took us 175,200 minutes to corral our crewmates for this, but it's finally here. Here's our plans for 2024. New roles, better lobby filtering, making lobby settings pretty, new cosmetics, and new collabs. So it's good. I wonder what the I wonder what the player base.
I haven't booted this game up in forever. I wonder what it looks like now.
I haven't. I mean, it's probably been 3 months maybe.
Yeah.
Since I played it. So
that was a COVID product. I mean.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we still had the last time I played it. It was still a good time. So, so here's a quote from the Among Us team. It says, "This is where I'm allowed to talk about Redacted. Can't say more than that because we like surprising you. Woo. That's a lot of stuff. The team is hard at work checking notes and prepping their tasks to make these plans a reality. So don't expect all these to be completed in that order shown above. We're excited and can't wait to get these changes into your lovely non-imposter knife-wielding hands."
Are they making a movie?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me at all. There's a bunch of other articles here. Let's see. Well, they were in Vampire Survivors. They've been doing some crossover things as well. Like, so what I think is funny, I don't know if I got any metalheads that are listening to this, but Falling in Reverse put out a new song called Ronald. And I pointed this out to my son yesterday as I was listening to it. If you hit the 2-minute and 53-second mark, the music literally plays the Among Us sound, like when after the round is over, or when the round starts, and it's like it's telling you to shush and who's the imposter or whatever. That sound is literally in that song, and I thought he was gonna fall out of his chair when I showed it to him, because this song goes as hard as you can imagine, and then just this Among Us sound comes out of nowhere. So
they're making an animated TV series for from CBS Studios, and it's got Randall Park, Yvette Nicole Brown, Elijah Wood, Ashley Johnson for voices. So some big names given voices.
Interesting. I almost hope they do something like that where every episode somebody else is the like you never know who's gonna. It's just a murder mystery every single time, but like, even if they die, they're back in the next episode. Like, thanks a lot. Like I think there's a lot of like some pretty good comedy gold there. So, going finishing up the news, and then we're going to take a couple questions from the chat. It says Zelda Tears of the Kingdom soundtrack is real and contains 344 tracks. And I think oftentimes when we think about like game development, we're like, oh, it's the coding and the artwork. Like 344 tracks takes some time to record. Like that's no small feat, you know? So it looks really, really cool. In fact, I'm gonna pull it up here so you guys can take a peek because it looks phenomenal. Look at this. Really, really cool box. There's a ton of discs, and this it looks like a pewter Master Sword.
Master Sword pedestal.
Yeah, like really, really cool. It looks like it's going to be heading to Japan on July 31st for around $85. Not only that, but a limited edition will also be available for $127, containing the full soundtrack, a Master Sword USB, and the USB can be displayed.
That's what you need the most. That's a USB thing?
Apparently, yeah. So interesting. Yeah, like pretty. What is it? Is it going to light up or what's? Hey, you could charge your phone with your Master Sword. That's what everybody's always wanted, but it looks cool nonetheless. I'd love to see it on my desk. So. And then we got a little bit more Tears of the Kingdom news here as well. There is a Master Works of Art book, or Masterworks art book is coming to Japan. Is this the one that was leaked? It looks like the one that was leaked. Remember this? Like long before the game came out. Like I actually got a little scared when I put it up on my website. I was like, are the Nintendo ninjas going to come after me for this one? But yeah,
did you ever buy Making a Champion? Was that the first art book?
I did not. No.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like storing books starts to get out of hand without like with all the games and everything. So but it says if you're a fan of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, we are going out on a limb and assume that many of you are, and you'll want to pay attention. A Masterworks art book looking at production designs from the game will be launching on August 30th, containing a whopping 464 full-color A4 pages. This book will be split into 3 distinct sections based on a rough Google translation, looking at art, materials, and the story from the 2023 Critical Darling. So they show some, you can see some of the photos here and whatnot of what they're going to look like. And it's, yeah. Remember, it's so funny to me thinking back on all of the speculation and all the talk we did about this game, like based strictly on the dungeon that they showed at the very, for the very first trailer in 2019. So
yeah, I have the fancy guide or whatever. This is the Tears of the Kingdom guide, and it's 498 pages as well. So I mean, it's big
beefy.
art book.
Yeah, that's beefy for sure. So Cryptic has a question from the chat. It says what's a game that is not a remake or remaster that you feel would fit well for Switch as it comes to its end? That is not a remake or remaster. Star Fox, Punch Out, F-Zero.
Yeah, I mean,
Mario Kart 10.
Star Fox if they want to keep it on rails, but I feel like we got to get away from being on rails. Like, I don't know how well this. I mean, I guess Monolith Soft makes really good open world games, but like, I feel like Star Fox would struggle with the current Switch as it is if they were trying to go open world. Ubisoft did it with Starlink or whatever, but that was kind of limited to kind of barren worlds, and you skim the surface. You didn't really get to fly around a ton.
I can already tell you
the easy answer is a Kirby game. I mean,
that's what I was going to say. And if Johnny has to eat a chip because of a Kirby game, I'm going to absolutely lose it. And I think he will too, because he'll just be like, I can't believe I'm eating this chip for a baby game. That'll be his exact. Yep. That'll be the quote right there. So, yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised to see a Kirby game just because of the track record. But I mean, Punch Out would be fun. I don't think it would be they have a ton of the assets on the Wii already. If they just added some new boxers and maybe brought some boxers back, and I think that's doable. But again, a game like that's probably going to come out at like $30 to $40. Like I can't. I have a hard time believing it could be a $60.
They could find a way to probably do that.
Oh yeah. Servant says we need a Xenoblade Tactics game. There you go.
Kind of like Tactic or Unicorn Overlord or whatever, but Xenoblade.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be fantastic also. So, well, guys, that is going to do it. I want to remind everybody these news minutes are going to be live at 10 a.m., 1 p.m. Eastern every 5 days a week. And so if you want to tune in, it's going to be over at youtube.com/@N64Josh. And remember, the main Nintendo Powercast is now happening over on the Nintendo Powercast YouTube channel, as well as a Let's Play that we did last night where we played Mario Kart battle mode with viewers, and it was pretty fun. And I have a feeling that may evolve over time where we might bring some other mods and things into like voice chat, and I think it's gonna get hectic and be pretty fun. So hope you guys are enjoying that stuff. We appreciate you all for listening. And with that, we will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.